All right, and welcome to part 3 of this week's YAWA. We have some really cool things to talk about and some not so cool things to talk about. Number 1, I had insert like gray over, teary, glass, water, tragic, dun, dun, dun. I crashed my drone, okay, folks?
While we were in New York.
Yes, it was a bad deal. I crashed it into a tree, and it was not 100% my fault.
That's what I was
only
going to say.
88% my fault, okay?
And 70% of statistics are made up on the spot.
Yes, but I used the feature on the thing that said, go home and land where I told you to, because that's where you took off from. There's a specific thing on this. These things are designed not to crash, okay? I had a Mavic Pro, which is an awesome little drone, and so I see it. I'm, standing here watching it out of the corner of my eye. As you can't fly them out of sight. I know all these things. I'm trying to follow all the rules, but somebody starts talking to me, and I look up and go, it's trying to land in the trees next to me. And so I go to fly it, hit the wrong button. So that's where the 88% of my fault comes in, and flew it into a tree. Boom, broken.
Yes.
Bad broken. Not like, we'll just...
No, the gimbal was completely...
Yeah, just trashed, yeah. And I think the fall, it could have survived the fall. They're pretty durable. But the fall onto a pile of rocks was
not ideal.
Not ideal. So, I do want to start off by saying a cool little...
And we did send it in for repair.
I sent it in for repair. We'll work with this. But we were looking at upgrading even before I broke the last one. And now we're upgraded. The Mavic Pro 2, which has lots of little sensors to prevent things like me running it into stuff again. So
it won't let him do that.
It also comes with this nifty screen built-in remote control. So I'm super excited about that. And we want to say...
Thank you.
Thank you to the patrons, okay? So all of the equipment, all of the money that goes into putting together these videos, because all of this stuff, the mics, the cameras, the lights, everything costs money. And we utilize 100% of the money that comes in through anybody that is on our Patreon page, which you can find at patreon.com/Standing Stone Kennels. Anybody that goes there and signs up as a patron is helping to support the content by allowing us to purchase new equipment. We're going to be providing a drone debut with this new bad boy, which is supposed to have some really cool tracking features and stuff like that. In a video that we have coming up that I talk about our dogs' specific to the day regimen of what they will be going through, their exercise plan leading up to my rigorous hunting fall. So in that, we're going to be throwing some bomb.com drone shots in there, or at least mediocre at best, because I'm not the best
He's not going to crash the new drone.
I'm going to do my best not to. And all of that being said, so check out, stay tuned for that. That would be the words that I want to use. Stay tuned for that in the very near future. And again, thank you, patrons, for all of your patronage.
Yes. And we, just to throw out there, we are usually always very careful with the equipment we get. This was just one of those oh shit moments.
It was. And I'm going to say that is the
first.
That is the first time that I have crashed the drone in 3 years of flying.
Yeah.
So.
Oops.
Oops is right.
So.
And to throw one last caveat out there, the repair is coming out of my pocket, not the Patreon pocket. Okay, folks?
Yeah. So anyway, thank you, patrons. Also, thank you guys for subscribing to our YouTube channel. If you don't subscribe, please hit the subscribe button, because we love all of you and creating all this content for you guys, but only 65% of you guys subscribe. So show us some love. Thumbs up button and subscribe.
We are just rolling up on 40,000 as of right now. And there is something that I want to talk about that's pretty exciting, because we have been getting a ton of requests for years about the pink gun and why is usually the way that it's.
What is
brought up.
the origin behind the pink gun?
So at 50,000 subscribers, but first I want to say this got brought up most recently by the fact that pink gun kept getting commented on our channel.
On all
everywhere.
These different videos.
Everywhere.
I was like, what is going on?
Wait a second. And I start rewatching my videos going, did I ask somebody to comment pink gun over and over again or what?
Yeah. Did we say, hey, throw pink gun in the comments if you want to hear the origin story of the pink gun? I'm like, I don't think so. I know that we had talked about doing that video at some point in time and sharing that story, but have we asked that?
And then somebody said, pink gun over from at Jordan's Harvest. So I wanted to say thank you, Jordan, for all of the referrals. There's definitely people that are watching your video and coming over to watch ours. So we appreciate that. And anybody that doesn't know what we're talking about, Jordan's Harvest is another YouTube channel. This is a guy that's local. Him and his family run a meat market that Kat and I absolutely love. It's just down the road here.
The best brats and pork chops.
If you are here locally, and a lot of people that do watch do come for training and everything else, it's just up the road for us. Remind us and we will tell you how to get there so you can pick up some brats or some other fresh cut local beef and pork on your way home. Now, all of that being said, he has a ton of videos on the things that I really don't know a whole lot about.
Trapping.
Trapping's a big one. We've done a couple videos about trapping pigeons and some other stuff, but if you want to see the real deal, check out Jordan's Harvest at Jordan's Harvest. It's another YouTube channel here. Now, 50,000 subscribers, right? Once we get to 50,000 subscribers, I will tell the origin story of the original pink gun. Anybody that's interested in that, help boost, hit the subscribe button, and tell your friends. Now, what do we got today?
So I think that the remainder of the topics are going to be unpopular opinions or Ethan's brutally honest
comments.
And Kat's going to get in on it a little bit too, I think. So
if you're ready for some, pull up a chair, grab the popcorn, and watch this go down.
So we're going to start easy.
Oh, good.
Warm me up a little bit. So this first one...
Make fake cracking noises.
...is from James Murray.
Hello, James.
And I wanted to mention, too, because I don't think we have yet, all of the questions that we're pulling for YAWAs are coming from our YouTube channel on YAWAs. So
we're doing it different than we did in the past. We pulled from other media platforms. Right now, the majority of people watching these videos are directly on YouTube, so we thought, who better than to get the questions from but the YouTube viewers?
So, YouTube. I have been disappointed with the range of the 1450. The company said, try a lithium battery in the transmitter, which I will try. What's been your experience? So we're talking about the DT Systems Wrap 1450. Mm-hmm. And we use rechargeable lithium batteries, correct? Yep. Because we end up having to change batteries fairly regularly because we use the collars a lot. And when we're guiding, Ethan's guiding, he pushes the button a lot. And every time you push the button, it uses up some of the battery. Most people that are just generically hunting aren't pushing the button quite as often and
that's the same
over-handling the dogs.
Sure, that's the same when I go hunting. I mean, the transmitter, more or less, all of our dogs are finished, and it requires a little more handle when we're guiding. No, that's right. Sorry.
We can hold hands.
But I keep a little tighter rein on everybody when I'm guiding. So I was totally prepared for something else, and you threw that at me. I was like, okay, this is just a general question. The range is fantastic in them. They have a couple different options, one of which is the short antenna that comes stock, and this is something that I actually talked about them, and they are making changes. If you need help, reach out to us. We will help you. We can get you a replacement antenna that adds 1 to 4 inches, depending on which one you get. It's usually like a 2-inch bump on there, and that fixes all the problems. Those 1-inch ones were just a little bit iffy when you got into any type of interference and
thicker cover,
stuff like that. Any type of that interference that could come up, but definitely 1450 is a solid stacked unit. You just need to upgrade that antenna.
So, okay. So, yeah, unpopular opinions. Maybe it was a little misleading. We're getting there. But also myth busting. There we go. That's what I wanted to say.
Sure.
That's the word. From Kason Lynch.
Casey Neistat. What?
He
I can't believe he watches
channel?
our channel.
He doesn't.
No.
But Kason Lynch does. Since AKC doesn't recognize black as a GSP color, what associations are your dogs registered to?
False. Black bear.
That's why I wanted to talk about it.
Okay.
There we
So
go.
the people that don't register, and this is going to sound even worse than the fact that AKC does, in fact, recognize black as a short hair color. But the GSPCA which is the German Shorthaired Pointer Club of America. So you get that. We are in the dark side as far as that goes. But they're the ones that are not allowing the black color in the show ring. They're viewing that as a
Show
fault.
ring only.
Show ring only is where you run into issues. So
if you have a black, solid black and white, black roan, German
white
Shorthair
and
Pointer.
black.
Yeah. Any variation that has black, you can run that dog through any other AKC event, I believe. I know the hunting side of things. So the hunt tests and the field trials for sure, which is
agility, all of those things. It's just the show ring itself where they're looking at those physical attributes as the primary, physical attributes and movement and structure and that aspect of things, all physical based, and not to downgrade the physical base. That is a tough game in and of itself. And our dogs are not designed, fit, or ready to roll with the big dogs there. I will tell you that. But that would be the only place you're going to run into it is if you are at a show, they're going to not. Now, you can look at the UKC aspect of things if you are interested in confirmation and other show type events. UKC, you can do it.
And they accept black. So I just wanted to throw that out there because I think that it's a common misconception that black is not allowed in AKC. And so, yes, it is, just not the show ring, as well as we do dual register our German Shorthairs, both with the AKC organization and the North American Versatile Hunting Dog Association.
The NAVDAs.
So.
Not NAVDAs for all you non-pronunciationers.
I think it depends on where you are in the U.S.
Is it with Northeast? Are they NAVDAs?
Probably.
NAVDAs.
Long A. And I'm from, I'm from North Dakota.
Yeah.
So I do those.
It's the NAVDA.
Bog. I don't know. NAVDA.
There's a whole sentence about that. Like you go to the store to put the potato in a bag and take it home.
I don't sound like that.
No,
nice
but there definitely are some Fargos and some North Dakotas that sound a little Kotas. But I would say Minnesota is where Minnesota is where things get real thick.
So now that we've been not making fun of people's...
This is not making fun. This is just how it is. And people from the South talk slower and throw y'alls in there. I mean, it goes all the directions.
Super twangy. Yeah.
And the further south you get, the more it sounds like a different language, because it is.
It's really hard to understand some people with really thick Southern accents from like Louisiana.
And then it turns into Spanish somewhere in there.
And then it is a different language. So, okay, well, if we haven't pissed anybody off yet, let's do it now.
Anybody that's still watching, what do we got now?
This is maybe not so much of a question, but a rebuttal to one of our YAWA
There's
responses.
a few of those. Some of them I am more than happy to communicate back with. If you want to have a conversation with me, I'm open to doing that. I'm not a big arguer, but you can ask Bob about that. He knows wide open that I am open to a conversation no matter how long it takes.
3 a.m.
It was a needed conversation.
Yeah, that got re-brought up the next day multiple times. It was hilarious. But so no, we're really open to having conversations and open to learning and open to sharing opinions. And we're not the type of people that our opinion is the law, the truth, the way. But people do come to our channel to ask our opinions, ask our advice. And so we share that.
And then some people come to the channel just to tell us why we're wrong, I think.
And this person specifically said, basically completely disagreed with us. And I want to refute that. So from Mark Walter, I think any dog can be a champion. Like we were leading into in our previous YAWA that we talked about this, it takes time and money. Why? I'm going to relate my cycling coaching experience again. I had athletes with genetic ability. Testing proved that. I also had athletes without the genetics, but were hard workers. I bet if you motivate a less gifted dog, he can be a champion. Just stay away from show dogs, just like show off people. So first of all, like I said, this is refuting or a rebuttal to
first
one
of
of
all,
our
I've got a
YAWAs.
lot of problems with that.
We're getting there. And
Okay.
our topic of conversation was talking about, do dogs have ceilings of what they are physically, mentally, talentedly capable of doing? So
The answer to that is yes.
Can you take any dog and create a master hunter or a versatile champion or take them to the highest level of expectation?
The answer to that is no. Every dog has a ceiling, and different dogs are bred for different tasks. Now, is there an exception to this rule? Sure. There's an exception to every rule. But we're talking about in the mass majority of situations, you have a dog, and that dog has the ability to reach a certain level. Now, if that dog is in Joe Average's hands, that ceiling may be here. And then you take that same dog and you put it in a professional's hands, like a professional cycling coach, as you state, as cycling,
Yes,
right?
yep, cycling.
As you state you are, Mark, which is fantastic. So you're going to be able to get me, let's say average Ethan. I am not an athlete to the extent of being a cycling pro. And you could probably get me farther than I could get my own self because I have no experience in the situation. But at the same time, I am not going to make an Olympic team or be a champion, no matter how much time, effort, energy I put into it. It's just not in the cards. I'm not set up to do it. So it may be part of the fact that I have a knee that's bum. Okay, even that in its own essence, there is a ceiling now, and my ceiling may be partially capped by the fact that I'm had previous injuries in playing sports. But before we continue on with that, I want to comment in there because he said here that show off people stay away from show dogs just like show off people. And that is the furthest thing from the truth, okay? So show dogs get mocked in our environment on a regular basis because, they just prance around the ring. I want to tell you right now, I have a lot of respect for that as a discipline, as a training event, if you will, just the same as I have just as much
Respect.
Respect is a fantastic word. I have just as much respect for the people that run field trials, even though that's not my style of dog. Show dog, not my game, not my style of dog, but it takes something to get there. And if you think that it's a joke, take your dog, enter an event, and watch those, and I say this lightly, okay? Watch those ladies wipe the floor with you.
And sure, there's some men that
There
show
are
dogs
some
as
good
well.
men, but there's a lot of things that go involved with it, which is matching dogs to handlers. And then some of that was explained to me of having a big dog and a little handler makes them not look right, and a
Not
big
proportionate,
handler
yeah.
and a little dog. So men in general fall into the bigger handler, smaller dog category, but all of it can be done if you have the right proportions, the right situation, and even the best of the best handlers can probably make any of it work. So,
and I want to just throw in this as well. Some of these dogs that are show champions are also field trial champions. So then they
falls
are
into the category of dual champions.
So they not only excel in the field and hunting in their game, but they're also excelling in the show ring and their conformation side of things. So they are a very nice dog. And then some of those dogs go on to become also master hunters and versatile champions. So you've got a dog that can do it all.
Yes.
Was Benny all those things?
Mm-mm.
Sam,
Sam was.
which is Benny,
Walnut Hill.
Benny's daddy,
No. They're half brothers.
half brothers.
Walnut
Okay.
Hill Kennels. It's Rick Hopkins, Brenda Rowe, and they have done a lot of really big things for the short hair world, but they're just one example of that. There's others that do. And it all comes down to the fact that don't be knocking show dogs just because you don't know anything about it. Now, coming back around to the ceiling aspect of things, there is a ceiling. And even if you say, okay, we put enough time and money and all the things into, sure, we can take them a long way. And there is a chance that we could get really dang far. But when it all comes back around to it, the whole point of those games is to prove what a dog is and to learn what a dog is so that you can help better a breeding program and better a breed. That is our goal with this situation. And if we have to take dog A, let's say, whatever, Sparky, and Sparky knows nothing, Sparky doesn't want to learn anything, and just because I'm a above average dog trainer, I can take Sparky in 15 months or 2 years of hard work and effort and money and energy and all of these things over the course of 2 years. We can take Sparky in and get him to maybe get a master pass or maybe get a field trial placement, or maybe if he's real lucky, get a title at that highest level of achievement. And then we go, what do we have now? We have a dog that took every ounce of our being to get them to this highest level of achievement. Now, at the same time, we take dog B, and we're going to use a real dog for the sake of this conversation, Muddy, okay? Muddy is a little dog that belongs to us. She's part of our program. A lot of you know and love her and got to hunt with her. She's a fantastic dog, and she did all of these things with bare minimum work, bare minimum. So she falls into the category of we should take this dog and help it to produce more dogs like it that are in the above average category that can do these things with minimal effort. And not to say that I'm taking the short road, but I am breeding a better dog or attempting to breed a better dog. And you can't breed better dogs from crappier dogs. You can't take, it's not two negatives make a positive unless there is a fluke situation. There is an exception to the rule, but I'm not a big fan of, that's why I don't play lottery tickets. I mean, I want the automatic. I want the go-to. I want the answer that I know is. I want the sure thing if it's a possibility.
And not everything is a sure thing. I mean, you can have two dogs that are master hunters, versatile champions, whatever you will, that produce a litter, and not every single puppy out of that litter.
The odds are ever in my favor, though.
They're much better.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying, so genetics can play a part in it, but just because the genetics are there also doesn't mean that every single one of those dogs can make it to the maximum level as well.
No.
So there's
Which
a
is
ceiling.
why our program itself has probably 3-to-1, 4-to-1 washouts. I keep a dog, we raise it, and for one reason or another, it doesn't fit the breeding program because not all dogs should be bred. Not all dogs are created equal. And, I wouldn't say I can think of a time when a dog we produce hasn't turned into a quality dog, but not every single dog goes to that max level of achievement. So,
yeah. So the saying of, I bet if you can motivate a less gifted dog, he can become a champion. That is what we don't necessarily agree with.
No, every single dog has a ceiling, and that ceiling could be adjusted a little bit based on who is training and handling, and if they got a fair shake at a young age and got the right things and the right pieces to fall into place, but they still have limitations, period.
Yes, because not everybody's a gold medalist either that goes to the Olympics.
Correct. Not everyone is the winner.
No. So I know it was a moment of
all right, I'm over it.
Unpopular opinions and Ethan's brutally honest comments.
Yes. But we appreciate everybody for watching this week. That is all the time that we have for this week.
Yes.
Thank you. And again, if you guys have questions that didn't get answered today, hit us up at patreon.com/Standing Stone Kennels, and we are more than happy to answer your questions on the daily there. Or if you're willing to wait and take the gamble of we'll grab your question out of the comments, throw it in the comments below, and we will try to get to you next week.
Thanks for watching. I'm Kat the dog trainer.
And I'm the guy with the pink gun. And we'll see you in the next video.